Brady's mother, Heather, provided an update for the community on how her son was doing this evening, asking for prayers to continue surrounding her son.
We're trying to hold strong to our faith and take it 5 minutes by 5 minutes.
For any parent, watching your child lay in a hospital bed is a nightmare. And for Heather Niver, that nightmare became a reality as she has sat by her 16-year-old son Brady's side since last Sunday after he was in a tragic car crash that killed his girlfriend, Rylee Bartlett. Niver recalls the moment she learned that Brady was in an accident. Her heart stopped and it felt like time froze. Angry at 1 minute, but grateful the next.
No one can figure out how he made it out of that accident. It was his side of the vehicle that was T-boned and impacted. We don't understand why this happened. And I kept saying at first, God had his chance to take Brady on Sunday and he didn't.
While praying for her son, she grieves for Rylee. She referred to her as Rylee Marion. She says it was love at first sight for her son and Rylee ever since 7th grade. Her daughters were best friends with her.
I needed to get to my babies as fast as possible.
Niver has continuously posted updates on Facebook of Brady's condition. Some days have been hard, but she says her son is a fighter.
The Code Blue team was surrounding your son. What was the moment that, what was going through your head when you saw that?
So as soon as they entered the room, they said, you need to come now. You need to come right now. We rushed to Brady's bedside and they made a path for me to go to be at the head of the bed because they know that I feel it's very important that I'm with Brady and touching him. And I just laid my head next to his and I put my hand on his chest and I just told him that it's not time. And then he had to fight and he had to be strong because he's a wrestler. You know, we say, get off your back, get your two. And I told him he is Yanni Diakomahalis. He's a 4-time national champion. And no one can really explain it, but he's still here with us.
She says now what Brady needs is the prayers from those who love him, his friends, even those who don't know him at all, saying he may not be able to see, but he can feel the love.
He's hearing these prayers from anyone and everyone that's willing to send them to us. And right now we feel like that's what's keeping him going. I know he hears the whole world praying for him because Brady would love this, you know? He's a people person. He loves to bring people together. We call him the heart collector because everybody that he meets, he collects little pieces of their heart. And we've always joked and said it's made his a lot bigger. So he's fighting. He's fighting for everyone.
Good morning. We're joined today by Lieutenant Malinowski with the Syracuse Police Department. Lieutenant Malinowski, thanks for being here this morning.
Good morning. Happy to be here as always.
Alrighty, so people now need to be on a lookout, you and I were just discussing, because there has been changes to construction ticketing. What do people need to know?
Yeah, so something that New York State's rolling out is going to be an automated speed enforcement in construction zones. So on state-controlled roads where they have construction or maintenance going on, you're going to see a system where a camera will automatically be able to capture your speed and license plate info, and if you're speeding in that posted zone, whatever it is, going even a mile per hour over, they're actually going to send you a civil demand in the mail, and you'll get a fine for that.
Alrighty, so it's definitely important to make sure you're slowing down. It's not just being on the lookout for troopers or anybody. It's making sure that you're slowing your speeds for everyone's safety as well.
Oh yeah, and that's what's important to notice. It's not just every road. It's going to be clearly labeled when you get to that construction zone that they have cameras. It's not in every one. It's in specific locations. But at the end of the day, we have to remember these construction zones, they're not just machines working there. There's people. They're trying to get the job done, but they had over 300 intrusions of people driving into construction zones, and that resulted in over 50 injuries. So it's definitely a problem, and hopefully this will help reduce that a little bit.
Definitely, and there might be some road closures this weekend because we have the Mountain Goat Run happening. What do people need to know? Yeah,
so anyone coming into town, just know that we have that Mountain Goat Run goes all around the city. Best way for you to plan ahead would be to go to SEER.gov. You can see the news section of that, and it has all the road closures. But plan ahead if you have to go somewhere, go to church or an early breakfast or make your way up to the hospital. You're going to want to know which roads are blocked so you're not inconvenienced. Because I know a lot of people get upset about that, but it's a great thing to bring to the city. So it should be a good time.
All righty. And then, you know, SBD has had a case recently where guns were being brought in from Georgia. What is the problem that you guys have run into with that?
Yes, it was a pretty big drug trafficking case. Really speaks to the great work the law enforcement does around here. This was a multi-agency effort between us, the District Attorney's Office, ATF, and the United States Attorney's Office, so everyone was working together to get this done. But what was happening is someone was legally buying, or a couple people legally buying guns in Georgia, where it's a little bit easier to buy firearms, or a lot easier, and then they were getting shipped and sold up here. So they bought over 50 guns down in Georgia, and we recovered 16 of them up here. And of those 16 guns, some of those guns were used in a murder-suicide, shots fired, shootings, so pretty serious thing. They were charged with over 150 different charges, pretty serious felony. So we were glad to bring these people to justice, and I thought the chief said it best. Anyone who's planning on doing it, just know that if we haven't figured it out, we're going to.
Definitely. And, you know, school is coming to an end, but there still are school buses on the road. There still are kids, you know, getting off those school buses, and we want to make sure that that's the safest it can be for them. What have we seen with people kind of disregarding school buses and not making it a safe environment?
When it comes to schools, it's similar to the construction zone thing. With school zones, it's the same thing, okay? There's special speed limits in place, obviously, to protect our children. Okay? You don't want to take that one risk of them getting off a bus or leaving school and speeding through there, so really trying to follow that. But the school bus thing is important, that when kids are getting on and off the bus, the bus clearly displays a flashing thing that says stop. We kindly ask you to stop. If not, and you do decide to pass that bus, it's something you can be ticketed for. That's important to note. If the bus is even on one side of the street, okay, if there's no divider, you got to stop also on the other side.
Double yellow lines don't mean that the rules don't apply.
Unless there's like a strong, big divider, you really have to be able to follow that. So, again, common sense stuff. I know you might be in a rush in the morning, but we got to get our kids safe to school for sure.
100%. And I know some people sometimes are confused because some people don't know it's the double yellow lines don't divide the road like that, especially because people could be crossing. So it's important to remember.
Yeah, you need one of those big cement Jersey barriers, I think they call them.
Alrighty.